And so my something told me to go look up and see were there any earthquakes today. And there so happened to be a earthquake in the Philippines, two of them. And then I think 3 days ago there was some type of eruption either at a geyser or there was some type of thermal eruption, volcanic eruption somewhere in the Philippines, but it was small. And I think I read this was about a few days ago. I said, of you remember the setup of the Russia earthquake and how it ended up erupting a volcano after that. They had 2 earthquakes today in the Philippines again. One was 5.5 and the other one was, I think, 6.5 or 6.2. And I told you from that reading that I did back in October of 2024, I said they're gonna be like, not again, is this happening again? I told you, when you start seeing places having earthquakes 5.0 or further, and it's happening more often, it's about to be another larger earthquake. And this one could even be bigger than the one that they had before. The first one could have been a precursor because it did create damage, but it was a 7.8. But some people kept it could be a little bit this one could be a lot stronger. If it's not stronger, I feel like it's gonna be deeper. I feel like whatever's going on is ricocheting other things in parts of other places. And I told y'all it's gonna get to a point if there is any weird ass weather modifications that is going on, people are not gonna know what it is them doing and what is actually going on. People think that I just be talking out of the side of my neck, but time and time again, shit gets proven to be in that certain space. People be wanting you to believe that your energy is connected to something else, and it's just like, I'm just a messenger. But then people want to be like, oh no, somebody's feeding you that information. I said sometimes I have talked about shit, like I have posted something in the time that it was happening. Like if I make a video, I said, how can somebody have told me something? And sometimes I put out something just right then without having seen any footage or anything. It's like some of y'all don't really believe that people have certain gifts or whatever the case, and y'all mock that shit until shit really starts to happen. So I'm telling you, I feel like there is going to end up being another, I feel like another major earthquake that ends up hitting the Philippines again. I said, especially the fact that they had two happen today that was over 5. I feel like when you start to get multiple earthquakes in certain spaces, that is a precursor. Like if you get threes and stuff like that, yeah. But if you're getting anything above 5, if you go look at the USGS chart or whatever the case may be, it'll always be red. That's something to watch out for. I'm like, if you having anything above a 5 and it's happening more than once, that is probably a precursor. They had several ear- earthquakes in the Philippines before that large one hit. They had a 6.5, they had a 6.4, and then they end up getting that 7.8. We have had two earthquakes that have already been a 5 point something and a 6 point something. Forewarning. You be like, I'm not a geologist, I'm not a seismologist, but it's like I am very much so connected with the earth, and I know when shit is happening. Nobody is giving me anything. Nobody is programming me. This is shit that I feel. I told y'all the other day, I ended up having a dream where there was this large, like, lightning strike that hit the side of either like a canyon, a cliff, not a volcano, a mountain, something, and part of that shit ended up breaking and falling into the water, which I think it created a earthquake or it created a tsunami because of that rock slide or that landslide. I'm telling y'all, like people be looking at you thinking that that shit is not true, and I'm just like, okay. Like, I really think people think that someone is feeding me this information, and I'm like, no, like I don't talk to anybody, like a single soul. If you was to see how my daily routine is set up, you be like, this bitch don't interact. I'm like, no, I don't. And it'd be so funny. Y'all want me focused on a love life when I am literally someone that cares about the earth and the water and everything else that's going on. Romance and a relationship is the furthest thing the fuck away from my thought process. Like, imagine people be so upset. It's like, okay, people be like, well, don't use your gifts to expose people. Okay, cool. I won't use my gifts to expose people. But then it's like, okay, so what about the weather? That's different. It's like y'all just it's like people be really upset at the things that you have the ability to do, and they mad at the fact that they can't do that. Because if you had some of the gifts that I had, you would exploit people. You be like, I don't exploit nobody. If people in my energy and they know they're not supposed to be, that's just what happens. If you know you somebody with a deep amount of secrets, if I was you, I would not try to connect my energy to somebody that can really see your ass. I'm just saying. And it's like people be like, "Oh, that person's crazy." It's just like, imagine you say something and you say it down to the T. Like it's so accurate to like, okay, I may not say a number with the earthquake, but I could say it'll be above this or above that. And then it happens and people like, "Oh, that's a coincidence." You be like, "So it's been a coincidence for the past 5 years, past 2, past 3?" And it's the exact accuracy. But people be like, "Oh no, that's not true." I'm just saying.